Hey, what's up guys? Welcome. This is HD and welcome to the semi-final of the Assembly Winter ASUS ROG tournament. Hope you guys have enjoyed the broadcast so far. I did read a lot of the comments in the last couple of videos I did, and a lot of people were wondering why did I say yesterday was Thursday when it was actually already Friday, and I guess by the time this video comes out it will already be Saturday. I do have a valid explanation for that. No, HD did not jump in a Chrono Boost machine and jump back in time. I cast the videos and I say that right now it would be Friday, but actually the videos won't come out until tomorrow. So I guess I should start saying that this is currently Saturday. Anyways, for lack of a better explanation, basically I do things a day beforehand, and that's the case. Anyways, it is time for semifinal B. Hope you guys have had a great time. It's currently Friday night for myself, as I said before. I cast the day before, and I'm not out partying. I'm not out doing anything but casting StarCraft 2 because I really wanted to finish this this tournament for you guys out on YouTube. Really, I just want to say, and I say this from time to time, thank you so much to all the people who have subscribed to my YouTube channel and really supported me for the last couple of years. I really do appreciate it, and I guess this is my kind of thank you to you. I just keep making these videos for you guys, and as long as you guys still have that love for StarCraft 2 and still keep it going, then I'm gonna keep it going for you guys. And yeah, I'm gonna finish out these finals for all of you. I can't wait actually to see who's gonna be in the finals, because as you guys all know, I casted Puma versus Stefano yesterday, and Stefano won. So Stefano's in the grand finals right now. Oops, I'm sorry, did I spoil that for you guys? Sorry if I did. You guys should have seen the video before you guys checked this one out anyways. But anyways, it was Puma versus Stefano. Stefano did win. Stefano's basically unbeatable. One comment that really got me laughing a lot was the typical, the comment was the typical Stefano 5 base all in. Yes, Stefano has this knack for going into the late game and just not losing. It's actually really weird too, because a lot of times I'll look at him and he'll be down in supply, and yet somehow he manages to eke out those victories. And I think a lot of it goes down to his build orders, but also his game decisions. Live game decisions, doing it live, definitely his forte, and really one of the trademarks of becoming a really good StarCraft 2 player. Anyways, I digress. It is time for Polt and Lucky, not Taki, it is Lucky. So we have TSL Polt here and Lucky, both of them advancing from the round of 8. It is going to be another Terran versus Zerg, and if Lucky wins, it will be a ZVZ Grand Finals. If Polt wins, it will be another TVZ matchup, as we've done a TVZ now for both semifinals. So getting to the game here, it looks like Polt's going to go ahead and drop down a little bit of a proxy bunker. It's not really cheese at all. This is something that Pain User does to me all the time, and God, I just want to punch him in the face every time he does. Whenever we play one-on-ones, speaking of which, we just played a one-on-one a few days ago. I was thinking about uploading it to my YouTube channel, but you guys should let me know whether or not I should. Anyways, it's something that Terrans will always do. It's not necessarily a cheese or an all-in. They just kind of throw the bunker up, test the waters. But back at home, they're really only on one barracks. They're not trying to all-in you or anything like that. And you can see right here, he's moving into the reactor factory, which is essentially when the Terran just, has a rally point set down the ramp. Oh, whoa, that's a little bit too far down the ramp. My mouse sensitivity as I hit the edge of the screen is pretty high, because when I play StarCraft 2, I like things really high sensitivity. So watch this, guys. So it's pretty crazy. That's why I try to use the keyboard when I move the screen around. But anyways, Polt is going for that kind of reactor factory opening with Hellions, and I love what he did here. He is actually going to be able to kill off that Overlord. It's Overlord hunting season, and that barracks actually saw the Overlord. That was really, really surprising. He lifted off his main barracks all the way from home to kill off the Overlord, knowing full well that on GSL Daybreak, this is a map where Overlords love to hide here. They'll also love to hide in this little special Overlord toilet, as I like to call it, because they sometimes you'll see Overlords pooping in that little blue square. Apparently, they're potty trained to go there. But anyways, I do want to go ahead and bring you guys the racial statistics before this map really gets underway, before this match gets underway. TSL Polt here favoring a 47% win rate against Lucky. Lucky actually against Terran, a 42% win rate, I believe. And another 40 here, as actually Terran versus Zerg historically is 49%. I believe those stats are right. I looked it up and I try to commit it to memory, my short-term memory, right before the cast starts. So that's that. And getting back to the game here, we do have Polt with 4 Hellions on the map, and I really, really like when Terran players do this, just putting 4 Hellions out on the field, and I talk about this all the time, being able to recede the creep, able to even use your Hellions as friendly fire targets, because if you see the tumor burrow underground, what you can actually do, and it's really clever, is send the Hellion on top of where you think that burrowed creep tumor is, and then tell your other Hellions to friendly fire your Hellion. And I actually see a lot of Terran players doing that. Now we have more Hellions joining the fray as well, so Polt really has a lot of literally firepower here, and he can definitely roast up quite a bit of stuff. Lucky realizing that has a spine crawler at the front door, also placing down the evolution chamber at a place that will narrow down the access point through the ground, so those Hellions will have a hard time running into the main. That production tab is going a little bit crazy right now, guys, as we have upgrades across the board. Reactor, 2 more barracks, a starport, so we will see a switch into the biomech, which is pretty much the common transition out of the Hellion opening from Polt. And likewise from Lucky, he is going to go ahead and go into Aspire, and I would imagine a Baneling Nest coming down pretty soon here. No Baneling Nest yet. Wow, that's there it is. There's the Baneling Nest. So it just popped up on the production tab. That's actually really risky. To throw up your Spire before your Baneling Nest essentially means that the Zerg wants to rush Mutalisks before getting any Banelings at all. And that Baneling Nest does take, I think, 50 gas. So trying to eke out every single advantage he can, but what this does leave you vulnerable to is something like a quick starport drop or some kind of a quick marine pressure play. And that's why Lucky kind of threw up the spine crawler at the front door, I would imagine. 2 crawlers, actually. But yeah, it's actually really, really risky. And I'm speaking, of course, from a Zerg perspective, saying that, you know, obviously you don't really want to get the Baneling Nest before after the Spire, but it looks like Lucky was able to pull it off. He has a Spire now, about to finish up. Of course, the Baneling Nest production time much faster than the Spire is. I do also want to apologize to you guys. I read a comment on the first video of the first semi-final that I casted, and I was really confused at the beginning of why Zerglings, why was Stefano getting the +2 armor or +1 armor upgrade first before the weapons, and someone very, very wisely pointed out that the reason for that is because siege tanks will kill Zerglings in 2 shots rather than 1 shot, and that's a huge difference. So I do apologize. That was my ignorance, and I guess in that situation, ignorance isn't bliss. So I do apologize. Thank you very much, you guys in YouTube, for informing me of that. And I should know that because I am a Zerg player, and I do know that now. Polt actually coming in here with some Marines. The Baneling Nest is up, though, so the Banelings are out, but there is no Baneling speed, and that is another flaw of going for the later Baneling Nest. You can't get centrifugal hooks right away, and it looks like Polt realizing that, going to try to apply some pressure, but here comes those fast Mutalisks, and they are in the fray. It looks like the Marines are backing down the ramp. The Banelings are unable to chase after that, and the Mutalisks really starting to thin out in number like an old man's receding hairline. Lucky has to fall all the way back to his natural here, and really he just doesn't have that mass Muta number. And when you play Mutas like this, you need a large combined force of Mutalisks in order to really do the damage you need to do. And right now, if you look on the units tab, only 7 on the field. I like to always say 12 or none. 12 is better than none, so I really would like to see Lucky try to ramp up to 12 here at the very least. And Brood War, as you guys all know, I do cast Brood War from time to time, and I used to cast it all the time. In Brood War, it was all about having 11 Mutalisks, because you would have your 12th unit, because back in Brood War you could only have 12 units max per control group. You'd have your 12th unit selected to an Overlord or a Larva, something that didn't move. That way your 11 meters could clump up using a game engine glitch. In StarCraft 2 you can't do that, but I still say that 11 to 12 meters is a very good number to have, and we can see now that it is about 11 or 12 meters. Flying in here, the missile turret is coming up, but it was delayed at the very last second. Very nice job right there by Lucky. Wow, that was incredible timing on his part, and I think that was just a little bit on the Terran side to not get that missile turret up a little bit earlier. Meanwhile, over at the 3rd expansion, Polt here trying to delay that 3rd from coming up. One thing I will say is Lucky's 3rd expansion this game is extremely late, and he is no Stefano. I don't know if Lucky can pull this off, and I'm not saying he's a worse player than Stefano. Look at me, I'm getting all flustered already. Worse player than Stefano. But I will say, I don't think he can pull off the 1 base disadvantage that Stefano can. That's what really Stefano's trademark really is. That's what I've noticed from Stefano just after casting time and time of him playing. So it would be a good idea here for Lucky to go ahead and get that 3rd, and he realizes that he goes ahead and grabs that that hatchery, and he's going to go ahead and deploy that. Meanwhile, centrifugal hooks on the way along with +1 weapons, so he is going to round out his upgrades very nicely here. And if we look at the supply tab, Terran player is favoring a slight lead, and I would attribute that really to Polt having 2 bases and the Zerg player not having 3. Also love the wall here. Wow, that's creative. Getting very efficient with the real estate that he has at the natural. Now we can see Polt beginning to move out. I will also remind you guys, this is excuse me, a best of 5, because this is a semifinal from the Gamecom, or not the Gamecom, from Assembly Winter ASUS Republic of Gamers. I casted the first semifinal, which ended in 3 matches. It was a 3-0, but this series can go all the way. It can go the distance, and the grand finals, I believe, is a best of 5 as well. Look at that Mutaclump here from Lucky, very large, flying in here, trying to do some damage. And I will reiterate one last time for all of you guys on YouTube, this is a $20,000 tournament. The winner of here goes on to the grand finals to play Stefano for a shot at 10,000 or 6,000. The loser goes on to play in the consolation match against Puma. Polt here is going to be able to take out the 3rd. Wow, what a strike! And he has an entire fortress of units, basically an outpost over on the right-hand side of the map here, and he was able to take out that 3rd as Amidas were abroad. Now it looks like Lucky is trying to bring in some Zerglings to deflect this, but it's too late. He's already lost his hatchery, and that's a huge loss to incur at this point in the game, especially since he hasn't had a hatchery for the longest time. And we can see Lucky here going in with his Mutalisk. He is going to be able to ward those Marines away. Will he be able to pick a tank off? He does. There is a secondary tank, though, in the depth line, and even a 3rd tank behind that on the high ground. And Lucky here, trying to fall back into a different expansion, is going to try to expand to the center of Daybreak. That is an extremely vulnerable expansion, mind you. Look at this. The Marines are already there. I'd be very surprised if they don't see it there. They do see it. I'm surprised Polt isn't going in, but of course that Mutaclump overhead threatening like the pack of vultures they are to pick those Marines off at any point. Now the Marines are going to be able to kill off that hatchery, though. It's just too many Marines, and Lucky is in a world of hurt now. He has not been able to get to 3rd Expo, and I guess really Polt's entire strategy this game has been to delay the 3rd and then take it from there. Now he might lose his entire contingency here. He will not. Wow, that tank on the high ground coming in, the absolute clutch right there. That guy deserves the award for Clutch Player of the Year. And right now Lucky unable to really take away this force from the map, because that force is going to be able to fall back. And you know what? Polt is going to be able to regroup that with the rest of his army. That's important for Polt to do right now, to not lose his entire army in some weird attack that just doesn't make any sense, where his troops aren't paying attention to him. And that's what Terrans really hate to do, is just losing their entire army. Now we do have 2 Broke Banelings here. I don't know how those guys made it over to the center between the 3rd and the natural. Must have been there for a very long time or something. But there is a trap waiting to be sprung inside of Polt's base, and that might be Lucky's claim to fame here. And in fact, that is Lucky's claim to fame. If you guys recall in IPL 3, Lucky played against Boxer in the championship bracket, and he sprung a huge Broad Baneling bomb against a bunch of Marines. That was what was able to get him the W. Will he be able to do it here in this game? He actually attacks here. He's going to go for a counter right into the Terran Natural. He will be able to destroy a pack of Marines, but there's more Marines waiting and waiting to attack. Lucky could actually bait these Marines onto his Broad Banelings already waiting at the 3rd, and we'll see if he decides to do that or not. His Mutas are not in position right now, but he is going to go ahead and go for the Tech Labs and all the add-ons. Unable to take him down, though, as those Marines are already there. And really, if we look at the upgrade tab, let's just take a look here. The Marines at 1-2 upgrades, the Mutas at 0-1, so the Marines are at an advantage right now, just in terms of the number of damage it can do and the number of damage that they can absorb. They also have, of course, Stim Pack Combat Shields. That's very standard to have at this point. Those Mutas just, I don't know, man, they just haven't been able to really do the damage that I feel like they needed to do this game to secure a victory. Certainly, they have not been able to retain map control to secure a 3rd. But we'll see. It's not over yet. Lucky is still in this game, but damn, Polt is menacing right now, and he is sieging up a lot of stuff outside the Zerg 3rd. And here comes Lucky. He's going to try to fly in, pulls the Banelings away right there. That was very nice, because he knows right there if he commits with his Banelings, then he's probably going to lose a lot of them to those sieged up tanks. So he falls back, but every time he falls back, that's the problem. The Terran's going to be able to set up a better and better position. He's going to be able to spread out his forces. Look at the spread right now. Those Marines are all, literally, they all have a restriction order right now to stay 500 yards away from each other. They are very distance apart right now, and that's going to be very difficult for the Banelings to get in there and do the damage you need to do. Lucky might just have to commit here. At some point, it just becomes so frustrating that you just gotta slam everything in, and we can see Lucky trying to do that now, but the Marines are so spread out. I don't know how the Banelings are going to hit their mark. They will not, and there's a GG from Lucky, realizing that he was fighting an uphill battle that really, it was not going to end well for him at all. So that was a very determined game from Polt, and I think his entire strategy there revolved around delaying the 3rd, containing the 3rd, and eradicating the 3rd in that order, ascending order. So Lucky, nice job, but unable to cut the cheese here because Polt is looking very good, and Polt is 2 games away from going on to playing Stefano in the Grand Finals. Of course, that means that there will be at least a foreigner representing in this Grand Finals. There will absolutely be a Korean, as Polt and Lucky are both Korean. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Keep the comments coming, keep the feedback, and I will be coming at you guys with Game 2 of Lucky versus Polt in the next video. HD, signing up.